Korean historical dramas, or sageuk, are not just about politics and romance. They're also a visual feast of breathtaking costumes and stunning set designs. From vibrant hanboks to grand palaces, these dramas bring history to life in the most beautiful way possible. Today, we're counting down the top 10 historical K-dramas with the best costumes and set design. Let's dive into the most visually stunning worlds in K-drama history.
Hwarang, the poet-warrior youth. Set in the kingdom of Silla over 1,500 years ago, Hwarang follows the creation of an elite group of young male warriors known as Hwarang, flowering knights. These handsome and talented warriors are trained not only in combat, but also in poetry, music, and the arts, destined to protect the king and shape the future of Silla. The story begins when an orphan named Moo Myung, Park Seo-jun, driven by revenge for his friend's death, assumes a new identity to infiltrate the capital. There he meets Kim Ji-dui, Park Hyung-sik, a mysterious young man who is secretly the hidden king of Silla. Both men, along with other members of the Hwarang, train together and face trials of friendship, love, and loyalty.
The Tale of Noctdu is a romantic historical K-drama with a refreshing twist on gender disguise and palace intrigue. The story follows Jeon Noctdu, Jang Dong-yoon, a clever and skilled young man who goes undercover by disguising himself as a woman to infiltrate a mysterious widow's village. His quest begins after his family is attacked by assassins, and he suspects the truth about his birth and identity is hidden within the village. The drama beautifully blends romance, comedy, and suspense, with standout performances, stunning costumes, and heartfelt chemistry between the leads. The Tale of Noctdu is both light-hearted and deeply emotional, making it a standout among sageuk dramas. Queen Seondeok is an epic historical K-drama that tells the life story of Seondeok, Korea's first reigning queen of the Silla kingdom. The drama begins with Princess Deokman, Lee Yo-won, who is born a twin but abandoned due to a prophecy that twins would bring misfortune to the royal family. She grows up far from the palace, unaware of her royal heritage. Eventually, fate brings her back to Silla, where she learns of her true identity and begins her journey toward the throne. The series portrays Seondeok's transformation from a hidden princess to a wise and resilient queen who overcomes personal struggles, political conspiracies, and endless challenges to become one of the most iconic rulers in Korean history.
The Crowned Clown is a gripping historical drama that explores identity, power, and sacrifice, all through a dangerous game of deception. Set during the turbulent Joseon era, the story follows King Yi Haeon, a paranoid and unstable ruler whose throne is constantly threatened by political enemies and assassination attempts. In a desperate move to protect the king's life, the royal council brings in Ha-seon, a lowly clown who looks exactly like the king. Ha-seon, kind, thoughtful, and brave, takes the king's place in secret. At first clumsy and overwhelmed, he soon proves to be more just and beloved than the real king ever was. As he begins to embrace the role of ruler, he finds himself caught in a dangerous web of palace politics while falling in love with Queen Yoo So-woon. Jewel in the Palace, also known as Dae Jang-geum, is one of the most iconic Korean historical dramas of all time. Based on a true story, it follows the remarkable journey of Seo Jang-geum, the first female royal physician in Joseon dynasty history. Born into humble beginnings, Jang-geum enters the royal palace as a kitchen apprentice. There she begins her long and difficult path through the rigid class system, political conspiracies, jealousy, and betrayal. Her intelligence, determination, and unshakable morals help her rise from a lowly kitchen maid to become the king's personal physician, a feat nearly impossible for a woman at the time.
Halfway through our list, MoonEmbracing the Sun. A fantasy romance about a king and a shaman torn apart by fate, it captured the hearts of millions and boosted interest in historical dramas among younger audiences. With ratings soaring over 40%, this drama proved Saguk could be trendy, magical, and massively successful. Years later, King Li Huan, Young Wu's first love, still mourns her loss. When fate reunites them, he is drawn to Wool, not knowing she is the woman he once loved. Together, they uncover political conspiracies, palace secrets, and the truth behind her disappearance. Blending romance, tragedy, and palace intrigue, the drama beautifully portrays a love destined by the heavens but threatened by human greed.
Empress Ki tells the epic life story of Ki Sung-nyang, Haji Wan, a Goryeo-born woman of extraordinary intelligence, courage, and beauty. Born a commoner but raised with fierce determination, Sung-nyang disguises herself as a man to survive in a male-dominated society, and rises through the ranks with her unmatched skill in archery, swordsmanship, and political strategy. Ultimately, she ascends to become Empress Ki, one of the most influential women in Yuan history, but at the cost of heartbreaking sacrifices and personal losses. Mr. Sunshine follows Eugene Choi, Lee Byung-hun, a young boy born into slavery in Joseon who escapes to the United States after a life-shattering tragedy. Growing up in America, he becomes a U.S. Marine Corps officer and returns to his homeland on a mission. But now he's a man torn between two worlds. Alongside them are unforgettable characters. The charismatic but dangerous Gu Dong-mei, the fierce and ambitious hotel owner Koo Do-hina, and the passionate revolutionary Kim Hee-sung. Each harbors secrets, unrequited loves, and unshakable loyalties, making the story a web of romance, betrayal, and sacrifice.
Next up, The Red Sleeve. This beautifully tragic romance between King Jongjo and a court lady became a cultural sensation. Its heartbreaking story of duty versus love reminded audiences that Saguk can deliver deep emotional impact while staying rooted in history. The drama is praised for its beautiful cinematography, emotional depth, and the powerful performances of Lee Jun-ho and Lee Se-young.
Moon Lovers. Scarlet Heart. Ryo is a historical fantasy romance that blends time travel with palace intrigue, set during the early years of the Goryeo dynasty. The story follows Go Ha-jin, IU, a modern-day woman who is suddenly transported back to the 10th century during a solar eclipse. She awakens in the body of Hai-su, a young noblewoman living among the princes of Goryeo. In the palace, Hai-su becomes entangled in the complex relationships and rivalries between the many royal princes. Among them, she develops close bonds with the warm-hearted 8th Prince Wang-wook, Kang Ha-nyul, and the misunderstood, scarred 4th Prince Wang-so, Lee Jun-gi. So, which of these Seijuks do you think had the most beautiful costumes and sets? Did Scarlet Heart Ryo deserve the top spot, or would you pick another drama? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this countdown, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more K-drama rankings, and share this video with fellow fans. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.